Okay, so I wanted to talk about a few things that are important to consider as we are in tornado season right now. Um, we have already had 2 tornado outbreaks that I'm aware of right now, or at least tornado threats that are widespread so far for the 2024 season. I want to go over a few things to help people, prepare and, uh, you know, know what to do and have a plan in place. Now, first of all, you want to make sure that you know where you're going to go, your safe place. Usually that's either a basement if you have one. If you do not have a basement, interior room such as a hallway, closet, bathroom, anything that is in the center of the house on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Now, when it comes to mobile homes are not safe. Evacuate them and get inside a substantial shelter, such as a stick-built home, another building, maybe a family or friend's place or whatever. Take shelter in that. Or if you have a tornado shelter that is underground, separate from the mobile home, you can take shelter in that, whether that's on your property or if your mobile home park happens to have a tornado shelter. So, yes. Vehicles, not safe. You do not want to be in a vehicle during a tornado warning. You want to get into a substantial shelter. As a last resort, you can lie flat in a ditch or low spot and cover your head with your hands. Going under highway overpasses, not safe. That's one of the most dangerous things you can do, is the wind velocity and debris can be sucked through and take you out. And so those are some things to consider. And being in a ditch, covering your head with your hands, is safer than riding it out in a vehicle. So, but usually that's a last resort. Usually if you can get off the road and get into a gas station, a store, a restaurant, wherever you can get into a physical building, that's a solid structure, not a trailer, not a mobile home, nothing like that. A solid stick-built structure, and follow tornado protocol, for whatever business you're in or whatever it is, So, but as a last resort, low spot, cover your head with your hands, and, just protect yourself the best you can. Now, that being said, it's always a good idea to have an emergency bag. To have supplies and things that you may need in an emergency and after. If you lost your home and you've lost everything, this bag, you want to put some things that are going to be important to you. Um, you know, so first of all, you want to have things such as phone chargers. You know, I would add a wall adapter too, because if you lost everything and you ended up somewhere where you had the ability to plug things in to the wall, it's good to have that. Wipes to keep yourself clean, things like that. Flashlights, extra batteries, battery packs to charge your phone and your devices if the power is out or you don't have access to power. And, all of this that I'm showing you can be applied to many different emergencies. Fire emergencies, fire evacuation, obviously if you're right there and you can grab it. If your house is on fire and you need to get out, you need to get out. Don't worry about grabbing anything. Things can be replaced. But I'm just saying, if you had to evacuate for like wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever the case is, whatever I'm showing you with this bag applies to all of those scenarios. So, yeah. Painkillers. Good idea to have a small first aid kit. Is a good idea to have. Now, I recommend that you have a full first aid kit in your tornado shelter, but this is just a small one that I'm able to fit in my bag. Any, snack bars or whatever, those can be rotated out, and those are good to have. Any personal care items, just have some. I have this folding hairbrush. It's just a good idea to have stuff like this because, like I said, if you lose everything, until you can get back up on your feet, you want stuff to get you by. Now, you want to have any prescriptions that are important to you. So, if you have any extra prescriptions or extra refills that you can spare to put in your emergency bag, put them in your emergency bag. So that way you have some of those prescriptions with you in case you lose everything. You have some to get you by. Any files like, birth certificates, titles, marriage certificates, like insurance cards, anything that is very, 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 very important that is not replaceable. You want to have in a file folder that can fit in that bag. Other thing, like I said, personal care. If you don't know what to get, like if you're, depending upon, if you're a guy or a gal, whatever, you can get one of these kits in the travel section of your drugstore or at Walmart or Target or wherever, and you can have an entire kit. This one has razor, shampoo, deodorant, wipes, toothpaste, toothbrush, dental floss, all this stuff. So, this can get you by for a short time. and keep you clean, even though, the situation may not be pretty. It'll at least give you something to keep yourself clean and comfortable, to the best of your ability. So I do recommend that. And, yes, extra batteries, extra things like that, and like I said, this is nothing crazy. My personal opinion, I think a Bible is very handy to keep in your emergency bag. I mean, this is important for your soul. So I would throw that in there too, because let's face it, if you lose everything and you're devastated and you're scared, I mean, there's nothing better than God's word. Fall back on God's word in those times. So I always keep that in my emergency bag as well. And yes. And then also keep bottled water, either in your emergency bag or in your tornado shelter, and rotate it out on an annual basis. Always keep bottled water on hand. If something happened, during the tornado that compromised the water system, and you had contaminated water, or the water just didn't work at all, this is super important. And when things like that happen, usually these kind of resources are very scarce. And so, you're probably not going to have access to a store. You're not going to have access to much until disaster relief starts to come in. And it may take a while. So, be prepared ahead of time and make sure that you're able to sustain yourself for a certain amount of time, so that way you're not in a bad situation, doing without. And so, in any way, yeah, I think that about does it. I hope this was informative. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.